Hey, what's up guys? TT here. Apple just wrapped up its big September event, the one they literally called awe-dropping. And yeah, it actually kind of was. We're looking at an all-new iPhone 17 lineup, thinner than anything Apple's ever made, a Pro Max that finally breaks the 5,000 milliamp hour barrier, new AirPods with some futuristic tricks, and Apple Watches that lean even harder into health and AI. So if you missed the keynote or just don't want to sit through an hour-long presentation, this is everything you need to know, no fluff. First up, the iPhones, then AirPods, then watches. Let's go. So, 4 iPhones this year. The regular iPhone 17, the iPhone 17 Pro, the Pro Max, and a new one, the iPhone 17 Air. And this is where it gets interesting. At just 5.5 millimeters thin, the Air is thinner than an iPod Touch, but still manages to pack a 6.6-inch OLED display and a 48-megapixel camera. That's Apple flexing design muscle. The bezels are tighter across the lineup, and the Pro models keep their titanium frames while the standard ones stick with aluminum. And while the Air looks like the star, the Pro Max is the one with the big milestone. For the first time ever, an iPhone is breaking 5,000 milliamp hours of battery capacity. Here's the quick rundown. The regular iPhone 17 gets about 3,700 milliamp hours. The Air comes in at around 3,000 to 3,100 depending on SIM or eSIM. The Pro hits close to 4,200, and the Pro Max stretches up to just over 5,000. That's a huge jump, about 3 to 4 hours more screen on time for the biggest phone. And interestingly, the eSIM-only models actually get slightly larger batteries since ditching the SIM tray frees up internal space. It's one of those subtle design choices that quietly signals where Apple's heading next. But don't expect super fast charging just yet, still capped at 35 watts wired, 15 watts MagSafe. Performance-wise, the new A19 and A19 Pro chips are smaller, faster, and more efficient, built on TSMC's 2-nanometer process. Geekbench numbers put them 15 to 20% faster on CPU and 25% faster on GPU. But here's the kicker. Pro and Pro Max now use vapor chamber cooling. That means less thermal throttling when you're gaming or shooting long 4K ProRes clips. And on the other side of the lineup, the Air debuts with something pretty wild, a silicon carbon battery. Basically, it's a new chemistry that lets Apple squeeze more energy density into a thinner package. Translation, super slim phone, not terrible battery. That's new ground. Now, AirPods Pro 3. At first glance, they look the same, but inside is where the magic happens. They're running a new H3 chip with better adaptive noise cancellation, smoother handoff between devices, and a slight bump in efficiency. But the big hook, health features and live translation. Apple tucked in sensors that can measure things like body temperature or hydration from inside your ear canal. And with AI, these AirPods can do real-time translation. Imagine dropping into a conversation in another language and having it interpreted right in your ear. If it works seamlessly, that's a game changer for travel. Battery life still sits around 6 hours on a single charge, 30 with the case, but with smarter power management. On the watch side, Apple dropped 3 updates, the Series 11, SE3, and Ultra 3. The Series 11 gets a new S11 chip, faster, but more importantly, way more efficient, and finally adds blood pressure monitoring, not hospital-grade accuracy, but useful for tracking trends over time. And it's paired with AI-driven coaching that gives you adaptive workout suggestions, sleep recovery insights, and personalized feedback. This is Apple leaning hard into fitness wearables. The SE3 is the budget-friendly option, but not as compromised as before, now with fast charging and expanded sleep tracking. And then there's the Ultra 3, which gets the Spotlight features, a bigger, brighter screen, satellite connectivity for texts and SOS, and up to 42 hours of battery life. That's the adventure watch people wanted. And while Apple never really said the word, AI was everywhere in this event. Smarter photos on iPhone, predictive battery usage, adaptive sound and translation on AirPods, AI coaching on watch. It's subtle, but that's Apple's style. They're baking it into experiences instead of slapping the label AI on every slide. So what's the bottom line? Apple's knocking out 3 long-standing complaints at once. Battery life has finally caught up to expectations, with iPhones now hitting the same numbers as Android flagships. The iPhone 17 Air proves that thin doesn't have to mean weak, and across AirPods and Apple Watch, they're building a stronger case for health, fitness, and real utility. It's not a flashy foldable year, and it's not about wild new form factors. This year was about refining the core products that people actually use every day and making them more powerful, more efficient, and just smarter. So that's the iPhone 17 lineup, AirPods Pro 3, and the new Apple Watches. Full reviews, camera tests, and deep dives coming soon. But I want to know, which one feels like the biggest upgrade to you? The ultra-thin Air, the 5,000 milliamp hour Pro Max, or the health-focused accessories? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.